Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. I will show you how to begin creating a project, prepare a BQ, upload tender documents, edit form of tender, calling tender, tender opening, addendum making, and tender submission. We begin with project creation. We first go to the project tab and then proceed to click on the add new project. And then we continue to fill up business unit form, selecting the contract type, and then the work category. Ding, subsidiary. Take for example here, we go to the parent testing company, running number, generate to make sure that the running number is correct. And then click check, this number is valid. Then proceed with entering the project title. For here, we will do for example, cadangan membina sebuah perpustakaan di Arau Perlis. Arau Perlis as site address, Malaysia State, Perlis, project description, default templates, and click save. Once everything is saved, we can proceed to assign companies to project. Take for example here we go for the business unit is the parent testing company. We can also assign the architect here. So select their companies, the QS consultant, their companies over here. So this bullet is basically to give the group an access to the tender documents, i.e. the BQ. So once we finish with all of this, click save, and then immediately we will be greeted with this project progress checklist. Simply click on here and then we will see there that there are 6 items need to be completed before we may proceed to calling a tender. So for this process right here right now, we will begin with entering the tender documents, because usually when we begin with a project, various parties will issue different types of documents before the BQ can be created. For example, specifications and drawings. So we then go to the document section here, go to the tender documents, and then proceed with the uploading the drawings. So click open, and then here we can start the see this interface and then this upload button. Simply click on the upload, add some files. Now finding the drawing file, take for example this 2 3, click open, and then we can see the drawings is lined up over here and start upload. Click. Okay, once the upload is finished, we can see the documents inside the tender documents. There's drawings uploaded here, stated here. Then we can further add specification if we wanted to, add some preambles to all trades, and also the appendices. So following after we finish with all of these project drawing, project documents, go to the RFI. So if you want to issue any RFI, so let's see here the RFI. So click here to issue new RFI. Then enter the subject, following with the questions. Then we select the group to be delivered to. Upload any form of attachment if required. Here we have the subject and also the questions. And that's it for the RFI. Now we will go back to the project dashboard. Now we can see on the dashboard, one item has been completed, which is the tender documents upload. And we may proceed with doing the BQ, public tendering. How to do so, you just simply click on the Build Space Pro. Once in Build Space Pro, we can go begin with adding a normal bill. Bill 1 dash main building. And everything, just click save. See here the main building. Now you can see inside there's actually no elements in here. So we go to the elements library and import every types of element that we require. Done, and then we click import. Alright, we proceed with double clicking on the elements and try to input the items. So we go to the library, SMM2, inside the concrete works, click whatever that we would need. Take for example here, and click import with rates if there's any rates associated with it. So once everything is successfully imported, we can then edit the items if we so require. Just click on it and press enter, and then proceed to edit the items. Take for example here, I input the number 5 and continue to perform the measurements by double clicking on the units quantity. For example here, we wanted to do the measurements for pad footing A1 and this isolated column. Input the dimension like 0.3, 0.3 m, and also 0.3 for the depth. The sign here is either it's for addition or omission. Okay, we can also apply the conversion factor and also the rounding options down here. Okay, take for example, we have another pad footing to be calculated. Okay, and then put in the dimension like so. Done. Alright, we can see the total quantity for this one item. So we're finished with that. We go back to the concrete works. We have the quantity per unit auto calculated here. Right now, what if we have the BQ in Excel file format? So we proceed to add a new bill Take for example here, we name it bill number 2, ancillary building. Click save. Saving. Then we go to import files, import from Excel. So this is the typical BQ that we have in our hands, where some usually the quantity surveyor will fill it in this manner. So we have to do some minor adjustment to this BQ, which is first to delete the top part, the header. This is because the system will then auto generate all of these elements inside this system. So we also delete the to collection down here, also because the system will generate a seamless BQ, and then if it requires for it to have it in separate page, because a single page doesn't fit everything, so it will then auto generate that as well, similar to the collection page. So go back to the system, import from files, Excel file, select file. Okay, now we need to do a column matching. We enter the description to be tally with the one in Excel file for the system to recognize what is what, essentially. Click import. Alright, once finish import, we import everything, including the rates and quantity, and then simply click on the import button. Now we can see the original amount is already imported because we import the Excel file also with the rates, and also inside the elements and item level, you can see that everything is already been nicely done. Now everything that we already imported from the Excel file can also be edited. So here I changed the item types. Head is for the heading, item is for normal item, item P is for item provisional, item PC is item prime cost sum. So I will demonstrate what item PC is. So we can see here that everything is in prime cost format. We can so change the supply rate, and for the rest, the wastage, labor for installation, other cost, profit percentage can be filled by the contractor. So we click save. Done, something like that. Also we have item RO, rates only, non-listed, lump sum according to percentage, lump sum according to the rates, no ID item, no ID item, see, can be used for notes. Okay, proceed to print the BQ, print all. Okay, we can see here the BQ is in PDF file, making sure that everything is in order. Now, let me stress out that the no ID items that we just done earlier is this one. Okay, making sure everything is in order. Now, once we satisfied with the BQ, we can close and proceed to publish to tender. So here is the publish button. Yes, yes, and the BQ is already in tender. We can go back to the project dashboard and then hit refresh, and on the checklist here we can see that BQ is prepared and published to tendering is ticked. Okay, we proceed with the next one, which is the form of tender. Go to the documents and tender documents. We can see the form of tender button over here. Click show and do the edits on this form of tender. Take for example here for the clause, we can edit the templates if we wanted to, like so. And also, if we would like to rearrange it, we can do so by drag and drop the items over here. Okay, done. Click save. Okay, now we can change everything here if we wanted to. If we're done with it, just go back to the project dashboard we can see the checklist has already been ticked. Left with tenderer forms to be submitted. So we go to tendering, recommendation of tenderer. So in recommendation of tenderer, we click on it, enter the proposed tendering date. Take for example here, today at 12 p.m. How about that? Completion period, for example here, 24 months. Budget excluding contingency sums, for example that one. Target day of site possession must be the date after. So take for example in July, 8th of July, site possession. Proposed tender commercial closing dates, for example on this June, early of June, Monday, that. And the procurement method, go for design and build. Take for to allow contractor to propose on completion period, and if we need technical evaluation, we can see the proposed commercial and technical closing date is the same. Set the contract limit. Take for example here 2 million example, and if we have any verifier, we can add, or if no, just simply click save. So everything is already saved successfully. Let's see a new column down here and everything. So we can start to assign our contractor that interested and assign the interest. So we go for, take for example here, choose build space contractor 1, 2, 3, 4, and contractor number 5 stated that they are interested. So we begin to click save. So here we can have, see all of the contractors. We can send them the expression of interest to see whether if they wanted to join the tender or not. So we type in the message here. Okay, done. We click on the preview button. So this is the basic message template you can send to them. So click back. So in case if they already replied, if they say yes, we can so to tick yes for them, and no if they don't want to participate. Then click save, click yes. Okay, then we can proceed to list of tender, which basically consists of everything the same. So we can proceed to write remarks, or if no, you can click submit. Wait for a few seconds to verify, then click yes. Okay, once finished, we can go to the calling tender page. In this calling tender page down here, we can click on the status and send an acknowledgement letter to the interested tendering parties. Click preview, and then if we're satisfied with it, we can send the tender invitation to them. Okay, finished with that, we can proceed to clicking submit to initiate the tendering stage. Click yes. Okay, so now basically we are in calling tender stage. Alright, once every tenderer has submitted their entry, we can go to the tendering, open tender, and then click on the tender button over here, and just to make sure that every tenderer has submitted their tender according to the submitted date and time, and then we can go to the technical opening. We go to the verifier to have it opened. So select the verifier. In this case, I would select this one and then click submit. So just go to the home page where we can see the checklist in here. During tendering stage, we have something to do here, which is to verify the tender opening. So once we click verify, we can go back to the technical evaluation, and we can see the status here is noted with opened. So we can also see the verifier logs just to verify, and simply click on the tender. Here we can see that every tender's technical evaluation results based on their scores. So we can see the technical evaluation form. Alright, and then enter the target date of award. Once finished, click on the submit button. Wait for a few seconds. Click yes. Alright, so we basically finished with the technical assessment form. So we go back to the open tender to view the commercial tender. Also do the same steps to verify this process. Selecting that and then click submit. Go back to the home page and view the to-do list. Click to confirm and go back to the open tender. We can see that the status here is already go to the open stage. So check on the verifier logs and then double click on the tender. So we can see here the months proposed and also the prices tendered by the different tenderers. Okay, we can then go to the action and seek to build space. Alright, now we can go to the Build Space Pro. Wait a few seconds. And then we could go to the project addendum, click create an addendum. You can see here annotated in progress. So we go back to the BQ, select wherever the addendum needed to be made. So we click copy and click paste. Now the part where we can edit the item is highlighted in green. You can see here. So we could amend everything that we needed. Take for example here, we amend the quantity per unit. Once finished, we proceed to delete the last items that we make amendments to have it striked out like so. And then we can no longer edit anything in this particular thing. So we go back to the project addendum and hit edit and have a status in locked and click save. And then we will proceed to click on the export button for us to export the addendum to the contractors to price. So now we can go back to the BQ item and see the annotated here addendum. Alright, once the addendum has been sent to the contractors, we can go back to the we need to further extend the tendering process because they need to have ample time to do amendments on their pricing based on our addendum that we just created. So now we choose the alternate tender submission date and click yes. After that, we go back to the open tender for us to have it in tender resubmission stage. So here we can add verify if we need it. If no, we can straight away go to submit for a few seconds and click yes. Now the tender resubmission is officially submitted, so we can wait for the tenderers to come up with their price and then we do the evaluation all over again.